Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. The Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest TV Translator Association.
If you have a news topic or event you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
Today's show runs Monday at noon and again replayed at 3 and 6 p.m. and again re-aired later throughout the weekend with the other weekday broadcast replays. Today is January 22nd, 2018, and now the news at noon.
According to the Durango Herald, a 49-year-old man was found dead Friday afternoon in an apartment on the 500 block of East 2nd Avenue in Durango. La Plata County Coroner Jan Smith identified the man as Daniel McCullough. She said an autopsy is scheduled for this week to determine the cause of death. Sergeant Nick Stacy with the Durango Police Department said officers responded to reports of an unattended death at the residence about 1:30 p.m. Friday. He said no foul play is suspected in McCullough's death.
So it snowed, as we all are experiencing to various degrees. The Journal has a report on what that means in terms of our water situation and how we are situated compared to previous years. The article states that Southwest Colorado's snowpack this winter is on track to be one of the lowest in recent history. But if past years are an indication, there is time for a turnaround. As of this week, snowpack in the Animas, Dolores, San Miguel, and San Juan basins was at 33% of normal, tied with the Upper Rio Grande Basin for the lowest snow totals in Colorado. The state as a whole is at 60% of normal. But water managers are quick to mention one interesting and important stat. About 50% of the entire San Juan River Basin's snowpack comes from just 10% of the storms to hit the region. Translation: Southwest Colorado needs only a handful of major storms to drop heavy snow to restore a sense of normalcy to snowpack levels and relieve the region of dreaded water issues that come with drought years. But as the winter weather has yet to arrive, pressing into late January, these storms have to actually materialize to kick off the about face. Quote, whereas the northern mountains get dustings every other day, we get big events from the southwest all at once, said Susan Bayery, a hydraulic engineer with the Bureau of Reclamation who is based in Durango. Tyrin Finessi, a climate change risk management specialist with the Colorado Water Conservation Board, said this winter's lack of snowfall for Southwest Colorado is a, quote, classic La Nina year. In La Nina years, storms tend to track north, she said. There are precedents for this year's lack of snow. Take 2002, one of the driest years in Southwest Colorado history, which will forever be tied with a Missionary Ridge fire that ripped through the San Juan Mountains, burning almost 73,000 acres. This year's snowpack is about half of what it was at this time of year in 2002, according to SNOWTEL records from the Molas Pass gauging station about 60 miles north of Durango in the high country. In 2002, drought conditions didn't actually hit until later in the season, paving the way for dangerously combustible conditions in the summer. More comparable snowpack years into this winter would be in 1990 and 2000, but even in those years, snowpack did see a jump by the end of the winter, with peak numbers at about 15 inches and 18 inches respectively. Is there a chance we could come back, said Brian DeMoncos, a snow survey supervisor with the National Resources Conservation Service. Yes, but our chances are dwindling quickly. There is precedence for Colorado basins receiving late winter snow to compensate for a dry start, and it is notable to mention that past years at least displayed cold temperatures, and not so this year. In January, for instance, the month is on track to be 7.4 degrees warmer than historic averages, according to the National Weather Service. As is the case with weather, there are too many variables to draw too many conclusions before all is said and done. Just 3 years ago, strong spring rains eased a bad snow year in what became known as the Miracle May. It doesn't take a lot to get us back on track, Simpson said, but we have a ways to go this year. Alex Mickle, who has owned Mild to Wild rafting and Jeep tours for almost 25 years, said it's premature to get concerned. The region may get hit with a ton of late season snow, or the spring rains may redeem the area with water. Usually the atmosphere finds a way to balance itself out, Mickle said. I've seen a lot of years start off like this. You have to take a wait and see approach. It's all we can do at this point. Forecasters are calling for up to 16 inches of snow this weekend in the high country of the San Juan Mountains.
According to the Cortez Journal, if the snowless streak continues in Southwest Colorado, this year could shape up to mirror 2002, one of the driest years on record for the region, which many people remember for the Missionary Ridge fire that burned more than 70,000 acres. With Durango Fire Protection District responding to more than 20 brush fires since November, it begs the question, will Southwest see an active wildfire season? Davis said having a heightened awareness of dry conditions is imperative to preventing wildfires. DFPD urges residents to use caution with any outdoor activity that has the potential to start a fire, including emptying fireplace ashes, open burning, charcoal and propane cooking, and having bonfires. Bruce Evans, chief of the Upper Pine River Fire Protection District, said his team is hoping for the best this summer but preparing for the worst. Snowpack in the Animas, Dolores, San Miguel, and San Juan basins was at 33% of normal last week, the lowest snowfall in the state. Snowpack is important not only for moisture, but because the weight compacts grasses and matted grass does not burn as easily. Evans encourages homeowners to take steps to protect their property and help alleviate the spread of wildfire, especially as the weather continues to permit outdoor projects.
Reported in the Durango Herald, a skier died in an avalanche Sunday between Silverton and Red Mountain Pass. The skier-triggered avalanche occurred in an area known as Sam's Trees in the Chattanooga area on the south side of Red Mountain Pass near mile marker 77 on U.S. Highway 550. San Juan County Sheriff Bruce Conrad did not immediately return a phone call Monday seeking details. La Plata County Search and Rescue assisted with the rescue. Ron Korkish with Search and Rescue confirmed the avalanche and fatality, but he referred all questions to the San Juan County Sheriff's Office. It's important to be aware that powder on top of ice, as we've seen here locally on the roads, can create a dangerous, precarious situation in the mountains when it comes to starting an avalanche. For more details on safety in the backcountry and the snow, go to the website for Friends of the San Juans at thesanjuans.org. They have lots of resources and information online there.
This story was found on colorado.gov. In the race to develop a successful, viable hemp industry, Colorado is now home to the first U.S.-bred hemp seed to qualify as Association of Official Seed Certifying Agencies, AOSCA certified seed. This is an exciting time for the industrial hemp industry. It seems breeding, technology, and information advances are happening at the speed of light. This is a giant step for American hemp farmers, said Dwayne Sinning, CDA's Division of Plant Industry Assistant Director. New West Genetics, Fort Collins, Colorado, submitted a variety trademarked as NWG Elite. The variety is the first U.S. Bred hemp seed to pass the Colorado Department of Agriculture's hemp trials and qualify as AOSCA certified seed. According to their website, NWG uses genomic technology and data-driven discovery to create large-scale harvestable cannabis, greatly enhancing the sustainability of the industry and paving the way for large-scale product development. The large-scale production of cannabis that we enable serves our mission of improving patient access and affordability and increasing options for farmers looking for rotational crops that offer a better return than other commodity crops. In 2016, the Colorado Department of Agriculture launched the first certified hemp seed program in the country to grow hemp across Colorado's diverse growing conditions to discover which seeds would grow crops that fall within industrial hemp THC requirements. CDA-approved certified seed provides growers with the confidence they expect in seed quality. The program tests industrial hemp requirements set by Amendment 64 in the Colorado Constitution, which closely mirrors the federal Farm Bill. Colorado state law requires that industrial hemp tests at or below 0.3% THC concentration on a dry weight basis. All varieties tested were accepted by the Colorado Seed Growers Association Variety Review Board, and these varieties passed the THC validation trials. Once approved through validation trials across Colorado's diverse growing environment, CDA approves the variety to be produced by the Colorado Seed Growers Association, according to AOSCA standards, and receive the CDA-approved certified seed label. Seed varieties are grown and tested in the Northeast Arkansas Valley Front Range, the San Luis Valley, and on the western slope. These 5 locations, with distinct differences in daytime and nighttime temperatures, in altitude, length of growing season, and soil types, provide the CDA with a broad representation of Colorado's growing conditions. And now let's take a look at the weather.
The National Weather Map shows rain and thunderstorms all across the east and back into a mix of snow and rains in the Great Lakes region. Where those two low pressure fronts are meeting head to head, the chances for rain and snow mix is prevalent through the upper Midwest and back into Kansas and Nebraska. Behind that, the high pressure system is back in play in the southwest, while another low pressure pushing down from the Pacific Northwest is bringing in snow to the northern Rockies and Intermountain West. A few rain showers are also forecast in Northern California and along the northern Pacific coastline. Regionally, there is a hazardous weather outlook in play, stating that a weak disturbance will bring some snow to the northern mountains later this evening and overnight. A few inches of new snow is expected. The rest of the area will see variable cloudiness with some cool temperatures. The next chance for precipitation will be Thursday night as the next system moves through. Our regional update states that dry conditions are expected through Monday evening as we wait for our next weather system that will bring a chance of snow to the northern and central mountains only in western Colorado. This storm arrives Monday night and will be sticking around through Tuesday. At this time, only light accumulations of snow are expected from Vail Pass north to the Wyoming state line. Dry weather is expected elsewhere. The next chance more widespread rain and snow will arrive again Thursday night and Friday. DCTV's 5-day local outlook shows locally it was quite a wintry weekend, and last night's temperature southwest of town went down to 4 degrees at our weather station. How cold were you? Let us know on the DCTV News at Noon Facebook page. There are some photo posts of the snow there to share as well. Today it's sunny with a high near 32 degrees only. North-northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Tonight mostly clear with a low around 17. North-northeast winds around 5. Tuesday sunny with a high near 39. North-northeast winds around 5 miles an hour again. Tuesday night mostly clear with a low around 18. North-northeast winds around 5 miles an hour, becoming southeast after midnight. Wednesday sunny with a high near 43 degrees. South winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Wednesday night mostly clear with a low around 22. Thursday mostly sunny with a high near 47 degrees. That'll be a nice warm up. Thursday night mostly cloudy with a low around 24 degrees. And Friday mostly sunny with a high near 37. Friday night partly cloudy with a low down to 20. And Saturday sunny with a high near 40. Saturday night mostly clear with a low around 21 degrees. And we'll keep a close look on whether any weather might be coming through our part of the Four Corners. We may just miss this next moisture opportunity on the local level. For now, we just need to warm up to clear off the ice, which looks like a better chance of warming. Above freezing will start tomorrow. So meantime, stay warm and keep your pipes from breaking. And now, back to the news.
January 20th through the 28th is International Snowmobile Safety Week, and Colorado Parks and Wildlife reminds snowmobilers to think safety first when riding the trails this winter. Although Colorado's weather hasn't been very cooperative up to this point in the snow season, the designated week still provides an important reminder to ensure that vehicles are properly maintained, riders have the appropriate gear, and that all snowmobilers refresh themselves on common sense safety rules. Basic snowmobile safety includes ensure your snowmobile is in top-notch mechanical condition, not only at the beginning of the winter but throughout the season. Wear sensible protective clothing designed for snowmobiling. Do not wear long scarves or other items that can get caught in the moving parts of the snowmobile. Use a full-sized helmet, goggles, or face shield to prevent injuries from twigs, stones, ice chips, and flying debris. Know the terrain before you ride. If it is unfamiliar to you, ask someone who has traveled over it before. Don't travel on unfamiliar ground at night. Be aware of wilderness boundaries and restricted areas. The Colorado Snowmobile Association provides maps of snowmobile areas and groomed trail reports for riders. Check the weather forecast and be aware of the ice and snow conditions in the area. Be familiar with the thickness of the ice and water currents in the area. Drowning is a preventable cause of snowmobile fatalities. Always use the buddy system. Never ride alone. Do not pursue domestic or wild animals. Harassing wildlife is a crime. If you see a violation of this rule, report it to the nearest law enforcement officer. Snowmobile safety certification courses are available through your local snowmobile clubs, the Colorado Snowmobile Association, and Colorado Parks and Wildlife. In addition to safety courses and tips, CPW will contribute over $1 million this season, working with 27 grooming clubs to help groom nearly 3,000 miles of trails in the state. International Snowmobile Safety Week is organized by the International Snowmobile Manufacturers Association.
From the Journal, a Mesa County deputy got his 15 minutes of fame this month when he and his patrol car were featured in an episode of an internationally watched British reality show. In April 2017, the makers of the Grand Tour, an Amazon Prime auto show, drove through Mesa County for an episode set in Colorado's Western Slope. Reported in the Journal, when the episode went online on January 12th, it showed Mesa deputy Connor Bell performing a traffic stop on Jeremy Clarkson, one of the show's stars. The actual incident was staged, but Sheriff's Office staff hope it will spark real worldwide interest in their region of Southwest Colorado. Mesa County Sheriff's Office Public Information Officer Megan Terlecki said the show's creators contacted the office far in advance to ask for a deputy to help film the scene. Bell, a fan of the show, volunteered to help out on his day off. It wasn't the first time the department had received a filming request from a TV show, Terlecki said, but most requests in the past have been for crime dramas or documentaries. The Grand Tour is a spin-off of British car show Top Gear that features Clarkson along with co-stars Richard Hammond and James May, traveling around the world and getting into adventures while driving a different type of car every week. The episodes in which Bell appeared, Season 2's Jags, Jaags, showed the crew driving Jaguars around the Western Slope, stopping in Grand Junction and Telluride. Bell appeared as part of a running joke in which the show's stars got away with various misbehaviors, including a traffic violation, because their cars looked like those usually driven by classic British movie villains. Terlecki said the scene was originally supposed to be filmed in Mesa County, but production moved to the Hanging Flume Overlook in Montrose County at the last minute because the spot had more room for the vehicles and offered a good view of the mountains. The crew asked Montrose County law enforcement if they would like to be featured instead, she said, but the Montrose County Sheriff's Office couldn't spare a deputy and allowed Mesa County to stand in for them. Working with film crews like this one, Terlecki said, can be a way for law enforcement to create more interest in a part of Colorado that tourists sometimes overlook. She said she hoped Bell's Mesa County patrol car, which can be clearly seen in the episode, would prompt viewers to look up the area where the episode was filmed. What a great opportunity to show off the beauty of the Western Slope, she said. We would love to invite people to visit our county, but we'd ask them to drive at a safe speed. According to the Four Corners Film Office, the Grand Tour was just one of more than a dozen productions filmed in Southwest Colorado last year. Montezuma County was featured in the Discovery Channel show Alaskan Bush People, a Travel Channel documentary, and a Volkswagen commercial. The Grand Tour is available for streaming on Amazon Prime, and for the full list of what is being filmed or produced for TV and the big screen, go online to the Four Corners Film Office website. That's cornersfilmoffice.org.
Reported by the Dove Creek Press, the Colorado Press Association, in cooperation with the Denver Foundation, is now accepting applications for scholarships from Colorado high school and college students pursuing a career in print journalism. CPA is awarding a total of 3 scholarships worth $1,500 to $2,500 each. New this year is a requirement that scholarship applicants plan to use their degrees in Colorado print journalism either in newspapers or online. Last year's scholarship winners are University of Denver students Lisette Zamora Galarza and Grace Carson, and University of Colorado Boulder students Emily McPeak and Anna Blanco. Since 2011, CPA has provided $92,500 in scholarships and an additional $37,600 in educational grants for professional development of journalists. In the last 15 years, CPA has provided 3 to 9 scholarships annually. Applications must be received by February 28, 2018.
From the freerangereport.com. The National Stock Show is concluding up in Denver, but one lingering element continues to plague the hearts and minds of rural Coloradans. That's whether mutton busting is good fun or bad animal care. Here's a report on the situation at odds. Samantha Francis, an ardent anti-agricultural activist from the UK, set her sights recently on America's traditional rodeo sport, mutton busting. The so-called animal rights crusader launched a petition to shame the National Western Stock Show into canceling what she calls a cruel tradition. In what appears to be an appeal to urban millennials and soccer moms, Francis has garnered nearly 90,000 signatures. But far from being cruel, mutton busting is a relatively safe rodeo sport, downsized for children 5 to 7 years old, who, instead of hanging on the back of a bull or bronco, try to hold on to the back of a running sheep. The sport requires safety equipment for the kids, including a helmet and face mask, and the sheep are right-sized for the riders, so neither gets hurt in the competition. Did the National Western Stock Show, held annually in Denver, cancel mutton busting as a result of the shame campaign? No. But it's also a guarantee that progressive radicals such as Frances will continue to wage their anti-agricultural shame campaigns well into the foreseeable future. But who are the anti-agricultural radicals behind this and other so-called animal rights brouhahas? In 2017, Samantha Francis, a self-proclaimed vegan from Cambridgeshire, England, launched her attack on harmless sports celebrating sheep agriculture, and she has been successful. Last June, Francis targeted the Woodington Sheep Race, a church-run event in her hometown of Cambridgeshire. The race, which Francis described as barbaric, featured sheep with toy jockeys mounted to their backs running a mock race on a short grass track. Having gathered some 40,000 signatures for her anti-agricultural petition, Francis successfully shamed the event's organizers into canceling the race. Come on, people, stuffed dolls on the back of sheep is barbaric? Emboldened by her victory in July, Francis posted a petition slamming a similar sheep race in Scotland, in which sheep were stuffed toy jockeys run through the streets of the town in the annual Moffat sheep race. While animal lover, quote unquote, Francis insisted the race terrified the animals, the organizer of the race, Sarah Ottewell, confirmed that, quote, extensive animal welfare consideration have been taken into account in the planning and running of this event. We consulted several bodies, including the animal charity, the SSPCA. Nonetheless, in August of 2017, Francis posted a blog on the Animal Justice Project website, making it clear that the economic well-being of the farmers and communities who benefit from the celebration are expendable to her anti-agricultural jihad. But the anti-agricultural jihad knows no borders, and most recently, Francis took on one of the largest livestock expos in the United States, the National Western Stock Show. Under the title Lamentations, Francis launched a petition calling for a ban on mutton busting at the stock show. Although to date, the petition had gathered nearly 90,000 signatures, only 2,339 are actually from within Colorado. And despite wide coverage of the petition and support from PETA and other fringe, quote, animal rights groups, the National Western Stock Show has not been shamed nor intimidated and preserved the mutton bustin' as a favorite event. The Animal Justice Project appears to be yet another iteration of the radical animal rights movement, but the welfare of animals is the latest of their concerns, is the least of their concerns. A look at their blog reveals not just anti-agricultural ideology, but anti-Brexit, anti-medical progress, anti-meat, anti-national security, and anti-service pet activism as well. So this year, at least, no muttons were actually busted, but the stock show event was once again a big success.
And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of January 15th through the 21st. Officers responded to a two-vehicle non-injury accident on Highway 491 near a town business. A town resident reported someone violating a protection order. Deputies are investigating. Numerous town residents reported a suspicious person looking inside vacant homes in town. An officer responded and the person had already left the area. The officer spoke to neighbors and, after verifying the person was not anywhere else in town, alerted the other officers to increase patrol in the area. A county resident reported witnessing a child riding in a motor vehicle without being properly restrained. Since the child was no longer in the vehicle, an officer responded to advise the caller to report the incident to social services for investigation. That concludes today's roundup. Stay tuned for continued updates.
And for today's High Canyon Country happenings, January 25th, last-minute permit party and movie night is hosted by the Four Corners River Sports in Durango from 6 to 8 p.m. Looking for more info or help applying with permits? Couldn't make it to the DRBA permit party this past weekend? Then come on down to 4CRS. They'll have Wi-Fi CHAMA permit applications. You can now print them online yourself as well. And all of the information you need for your 2018 river season. They'll also be showing Into Twin Galaxies, a Red Bull Media house film on kite skiing and paddling across Greenland. They'll provide light snacks and drinks, and most permits are due on the 31st, so this is a good time to get your last-minute applications in. Also, January 25th, new discoveries along old trails from 5 to 6:30 p.m. at the Kilgore American Indian Art Gallery in Mancos, Colorado. It's presented by the Mancos Public Library, and the presentation will be about a local business. Quote, my parents purchased a trading post on the Navajo Reservation in the late 1950s. People came from far and wide to buy art from my mother. Being immersed in the Navajo and Hopi culture gave me a love for the people and their art. Mom and I opened the gallery in Scottsdale in 1981 and began to handle more top artists as well as acquiring old collections. Kilgore American Indian Art in Mancos is a wonderful collection of historic and contemporary indigenous art. She has been an appraiser for the Heard Museum in Phoenix for over 25 years. The event is free and all are welcome to attend. And then Thursday, also January 25th, from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Sunflower Theater in Cortez. The theater and the Cortez Public Library are presenting The Milagro Beanfield War. It's free admission or a $5 donation encouraged. The movie is set in the tiny town of Milagro, New Mexico, where the local water is a premium resource. Shady developer Lad Devine, played by Richard Bradford, has conceived a glitzy resort that will ultimately siphon off all the water from the neighboring crop fields. When handyman and farmer Joe Mondragon, Chick Venera, accidentally breaks a water valve reserved for major companies, he inadvertently sets off a small-scale water rights war between the farmers and the developers. Based on the book by John Nichols, directed by Robert Redford, if you haven't seen it or in a while, it's definitely a heart-wrenching journey. All of the happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather, and original stories and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us. It's an email, dcbnnews@gmail.com. Go ahead, send us an email or call 970-677-4119 and we will get your news on air.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Thursday and then is rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. on each of those days. The weekday news shows are then replayed throughout the weekend as well.
And be sure to check us out on Facebook. It's DCTV News at Noon. Please like us there and share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook with DCTV and the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.